how to attract, convert and deliver these for these $5,000 high-end clients. And that's really where it is that we're shifting. The first thing that you need to be aware of is you need to be really careful on the target market that you select. It's really key to get this right. I've heard tons of people who've got SEO companies and things like that, and they'll say, oh, my client will never spend $5,000, or hey, this person, whenever I show something to my audience or my community, it feels like they just copycat me. A lot of those things come from not choosing the right target market. And when you go up a level and you target small businesses and things like that, you know, they're not as interested in that sort of stuff, and there are people out there that you can attract that will pay these sort of prices. And it's just as easy to target someone down here as it is up here, so you might as well go for someone up at the top tier. So you want to position yourself as top shelf and be that person that someone really wants to work with. You don't want to be the $500 provider. It's also, if you have enough margin in your product, it enables you to you know, if things change, we're in the internet space, and inevitably the rules are going to change. What we talk about here, these strategies may be different, you know, next year. So it's important, if you pitch yourself at, let's say, a $5,000 level, and you've got that $5,000 buffer that the client's paying, you can change your strategy, and there's that room for error. There's margin for error in there. So when, you know, things got mixed up, what did we do? We started having, you know, added value things that we'd give to them. We'd send out and do extra videos for them, or you'd pay for press releases, or you do conversion, that type of stuff. And we could do it because we weren't the $500 provider, and we had a bit of extra room. So I always think it's better to go top shelf. So as I talked about, SEO changed, and with that in mind, you want to make sure that you evolve your strategies as well. If you're stuck doing the old stuff, you will get left behind. I think it's really important. So continuing education, coming to these sorts of events, really high-end stuff is really, really important, because it kind of keeps you on the edge, and it enables you to evolve as you go. So we have a few different products. As I said, we sell lots of different services, but the one I want to focus in on is that domination pack, which is the $5,000 pack just there. Now, the way that we sell that $5,000 pack, it's about return on investment for the client. I don't pitch them. I mean, we get a lot of people that ask the questions of how many backlinks are you going to build? How many hours are you going to work for me? How many page number ones are you going to get for me? Now, I reposition that when it comes through and say that's not the important metric to look at. Who cares how many backlinks you've got? Because one good quality backlink could be worth 1,000 really crappy backlinks. So I kind of shift that on its head. Also, number one rankings. You know, a lot of companies out there, SEO companies, they're saying page number one guarantee, but who cares how many page number ones you've got if they're for keywords that no one's actually searching for? So what does the client actually want? The client wants to make sure that they're getting a really good return on investment for their marketing dollar. So that's what we sell, that's what we position. And I set that expectation that it's more about getting positive return on investment for their cash, and that's what you should be selling. So the actual model or method that I'm going to take you through now, and we'll keep it simple because you know, we only have a limited amount of time together, and I want you to get a few key ideas. So I want you to think in terms of getting the leads, how do we convert those leads, and then how do we deliver for those clients. So firstly, getting the leads. I've taken a snapshot there of my analytics, and you can see it's actually broken up into a few different sections. Search traffic actually only makes up about 1/3 of what we get. Referral traffic, close to 1/3 as well, and direct traffic is probably a little bit higher. Now, we have a whole variety of different sources and ways that we get it. But I look on multiple different platforms. So I put so many breadcrumbs out there on the web, and I think this came from Jeff Johnson's stuff in the early days. You just put so much breadcrumb out there on the web, and then people watch it, consume a little bit, and then you have a call to action at the end of that piece, which leads them back to your website. So you know, Google, YouTube, iTunes, Google Plus, which is going to be so key. I love that SEO, social SEO presentation just before. We're going to do a lot more of that sort of stuff, which is, you know, we do a lot of syndication of content, but we haven't effectively been doing it in social media. So I really want to add that into the mix because I see that going forward. And I mean, clearly Google is not letting go of Google Plus. It's here to stay, so you need to embrace it and make sure that you use it. But the biggest strategy for us is repurposing of content. And this is something that we've been doing for years. I probably consider myself a little bit of a pioneer in this strategy, and a lot of people have taken pieces of it and then repackaged it and come out with different variations. But we were doing this back in the stock market niche, because I was in that space, and we'd basically, the way that I generate content, I'd run a workshop, I'd cut it up into little pieces, I'd load it to YouTube, I'd get it transcribed, I'd turn those transcriptions into high quality articles, they'd get posted on the blog, and it's just a matter of getting so much good quality content out there, and then it all links back to your main site. Helps with, SEO as well, obviously. So that's the strategy we did, and that was the workshop Dory actually came and spoke at. I ran something in the Philippines called the SEO Method 3, and we talked about this content machine that I create. But it's all about having really good high quality inputs right up the top there, and then it kind of flows down. So whether it's an interview, workshop, questions, case studies, you try and get it in the richest form you can, which is typically video, and then you cut it into pieces, and then it gets transcribed and you syndicate it across different platforms. The other way that we get leads is through speaking. I think speaking is really good. It's important to speak at the right events though. So from an SEO client perspective, you guys aren't my target market, so I don't have anything to sell with regards to that, but I'll go speak at WordPress events, I'll speak at, there's a Kids Spot event, which is the bottom right hand corner, and newspaper events. That's where I'll end up getting a lot of my leads. The other place that I like to get leads, and it was a little bit of a strategic play. I saw the writing on the wall when it came for, when it was coming that SEO was about to get a little bit of a shake-up. We kept on saying, look, something has to change here, and we could feel the tremors. So we ended up setting up Melbourne Video Productions as a side business, almost like a little bit of an insurance policy, but it's worked out strategically very well for us, because I sell video services, and the client that's looking for video services, they need help for online marketing. If they're thinking about video, typically speaking, they've got a higher budget and they're comfortable to spend a little bit more. So I find a lot of good quality, high-end $5,000 a month clients by offering video services, and then I drag them across to my SEO business. I use video as the foot in, and then you kind of drag them over. I think that was a really good play for us, because if you try and go for advertising and bidding on SEO terms, it's a really crowded marketplace. There's a lot of people in there, so I don't want to come at it as just another SEO company, and the video has been a good strategy for that. The biggest one, particularly for the high-end $5,000 clients, is from referrals as well. So how do you end up getting referrals? There's a few different ways. Firstly, and this is why I said it takes hard work, you just got to start planting seeds now. You put the good work out there, at events like this, you talk to the right people, or you talk to people, just offer as much value and always over-deliver and try and help people as much as you can. That takes time, but over time, people start to go, hey, I can see Dave helps people and he's genuinely interested, and then they start referring people. So if you want to do something like that, I think referrals makes up definitely one of the biggest referrers for us. So that's how we get leads. There are a whole lot of different ways that we get leads. Then you need to convert them.